Hey there folks, welcome to the next GT7 weekly challenges of July week 1, in other words July 4th to July 10th. America! Starting with the Japanese FR Challenge 450 at Alapos International Racing Course, a name I'm not always familiar with. Starting with the Toyota Hiace Van DX 2016. Yeah, I decided to drive this 450 pp build. But, yep, decided to drive this, and I gotta say, it's a weird van for the performance, because yeah, it's in like almost 300 horsepower, okay? But, the thing is, it feels like the back is just giving out at every second I try to steer it at the end of that kind of bad. It like has like no grip whatsoever on some of these turns here you're about to see. But yeah, just basically this event entirely, and I say 450 pp loosely because of that certain blue opponent there wearing sports hard tires in that Sylvia K era I just passed, also wearing sports hard tires. Once we get a quick look at them, you'll see. But yeah. Just driving the Hiace Van to victory as a somewhat, because this thing just wants to drift around this course at the end of it. I don't know why. Yeah, I decided to go low on the decal because last week I felt like I just did too much decal last time. I feel like it just overbundled. So instead I'm just gonna, if it hits like 450, I'm just gonna do a little bit of a quick job to it and call it a day. What GT7 does anyways, in some cases, not at all. It's like they didn't do anything at all. Stupid GT7. Stupid sexy GT7. Anyways, yeah, as you can see, I just like constantly just wheeling out the fake. Damn it, yep, there it goes, it's drifting. Breaking loose. Like, oh my god. Anyways, that car deserves it anyway, because that's a piece of crud one in the competition. Yeah, just to say, I kind of did this event like 3 or 2 times. I'm just gonna say, if he's in the front, he wins. He simply just wins. Because even by speed, I'm kind of just matching on that. The only thing I'm not matching him is by the turn stuff. Although, maybe I should race in the suspension and make it not so wheelie like this, but, screw that guy at the end of it. He's gonna be 500 to begin with. And he is. So 250 horsepower with sports hard tires is a big advantage compared to something near 300 horsepower and it only has a couple of mediums. That's a big advantage difference. Not gonna lie. That's like there was a comparison test between the Mustang, or either the, yeah, I believe it was the Dark Horse Mustang versus the Corvette C8. That's the base model Corvette C8. And guess which one won? The C8 Corvette. Want to know why? Because the Corvette learned how to get all the acceleration out of the car at the end of the day. And that's the biggest problem when it comes to cars. It's like, you think horsepower is the end all the beans, the end of gods and stuff. When it turns out, if you go to the other direction, says steering, transmission, better clutch stuff, and just like better brake pad and stuff, you realize you make the car even more faster if you go to that route. And not only that, it's actually healthier because it doesn't burn as much fuel as you would think. I would say the way to go. The problem is that costs extra. I was going to say astronomically, but I don't think it's how it's pronounced. But it's monotonous in terms of difference. That's why people just go after horsepower, even though that's not a good decision. Because that's just going to burn your fuel at the end of it. Although I'd say burn based off of base, and then higher up will burn more, but yeah. There's a case where it's fine. It just depends on what exactly you're beefing up at the end of the day. Considering this car was like only 130 horsepower, I beat it up to 300, and yet it does stuff like this. So yeah, that's basically the highest van DX for the 450 TP competition of Japanese F4 challenge. But onto this special event at the Willow Springs International Raceway, Streets of Willow Springs. It's of course on Ground the Polo Show 2008 order, and you can see a big problem about this event and why this event is getting the F. It's definitely getting the F rank because it is literally a one-make race you could just turn around and do in custom race. I swear to God, it's like when you see instances like this, it's like, this is not right, man. It's not right at all. This is just terrible and bad, as you would imply at the end of the day. Because yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, you see all these one-make cars. You see, this kind of works for the Citroen DX. This doesn't work for this. Although, when I say custom race on that, I didn't realize, yeah, I guess that technically means you go check used cars that way, because you want to see the cars too that way. So it's like, oh. Then I just realized like every one-make race is just terrible. Every special one-make they do. Besides, like special ones like, oh, I don't know, the Viper. When it's high performance, I'm gonna guess they just went some lower downs. Well, I guess that's the saying goes. You hire someone because of their passion, you hire someone because they just wanted to get paid at the end of the day. I feel like this is one of those cases where the person who got hired had no passion. They just wanted to get paid at the end of the day. And this was the result of what you get when you hire so many people who don't do things right. I gotta say, because this is as basic as you get. As terrible as you can get, because there is higher potential you could do with this car at the end of the day. I wouldn't say this, though. This was terrible. Because what am I actually expecting out of Gran Turismo, or what I should expect out of Gran Turismo? I was thinking the Gran Turismo 2 logic was not only a one-make race, but the cars with higher performance parts. Like they did with the Viper one. That's what I'm expecting. So as a result, you see that Mr. Burns on the rear of the car? That is what I feel like when I see this. And I knew I was going to see this. I foresighted I was going to see this. I was predicted I was going to see this. But yeah, that Mr. Burns is what sums this up at the end of the day. It's like, oh, hi there, bye there. Off to go to work. Because this ain't fun at all. At the end of it, this is just a chump dumpster at the end of it. Put it in, back in the dumpster. Yeah, just a bunch of base model color SUVs that you can just buy any time because you have a premium shop for these cars, where the BX actually had SKUs, which it's a used car shop. Even though I gotta admit though, I still find that even as guilty too. Not as badly guilty because, you know, used cars. I mean, you try to buy a 1987 nowadays. I don't think you can unless you're a special means. Because I'm about to say that car is older than 25 years. And I think that's a big crucial thing when it comes to cars. When they pass that 25 years, their preservation ain't gonna be as strong as they were back then, basically. So, because people want the nowadays thing, and they get in the nowadays thing. But yeah, I don't mean by reliability. I just saying people just want that technology, y'all. And not realizing, oh hey, you could have got much better efficiency if you got in the car with reliability instead of having all this special technology in the car that ups the car, even though it may not even up the car to begin with. But we're done talking about that. Anyways, American Clubman Cup 700 at Trail Mountain Circuit, which I am driving the Roadster Shop Rampage. I haven't drove this car for a while, and it's been kind of eons since I last drove this. I think I only drove this like maybe a year or a half back. May I drove down the weekly? I can't remember. One of them, maybe. I'm not sure. Anyways, decided to drive the Roadster Shop Rampage on this track because I did time trial on this track with this car, and I did 154 last time way back. So I just thought, he's like, you know, sure, with all the skills I gained, I might have got much better, right? Oh, I definitely did. In terms of difference. Instead of 154, I did 152.6, which is pretty good. Although I will say a lot of changes have happened between physics and balancing and stuff, considering the PP went a lot less lower, so it's actually faster now. And such, even though I think it's hitting like only 680, it's not even hitting the base, I don't think. And I had to up the training because I noticed it really gets to that 200 really quick. But then again, gosh, it has almost 700 horsepower for God's sakes. For a professionally tuned car, which the Roadster Shop, I don't know much about this car because I didn't bother reading the bio for this one, but and it's not like I don't care. It's like I just got so hasty I forgot to read the bio for this one. Because I do care for like every card that kind of exists in this game some way, but it just depends on how much I care lean into it at the end of it. But the Roadster Shop Rampage, if this is supposed to be a race car, well, you're done on that part. If it's supposed to be a timer car, well, you're also done on that part. If it's supposed to be a drift car, no. And this, well, maybe, I don't know. It really depends on the one crucial thing. How fast does it burn its fuel? I'm gonna guess a lot, because it's in 3,100 pounds. And 700 horsepower, it's gonna be chugging. This thing goes. So that's probably the unfortunate part about this car build at the end of the day. And when I say chugging, I mean on the Le Mans scale, not the WTC 700. I do. If it does not make the 2 laps around Le Mans, I don't consider that good. It needs to make that 2 laps around Le Mans. And then if it does 3 and 4, well, that's just even better. That tells you that's a really good car. Yeah, just look at the other competition, because unlike the crap stain that was the Peugeot 2008 one-make race, at least you get to see some decals for this American Clubman Cup. That's probably the good thing about this, besides, all of them are wearing sports hard tires, which is what sucks. You got the Boss 302 look-alike of a Mustang here. You know, I don't think I ever got a Boss 302. That model. Then you got the Ford Focus RS. That's about getting passed by the Ford GT40, baby. Woo! Favorite good. Yeah, it's like a little bit more American than ever for this weekend, so I expect to see another American car in the next one in the year. But and then we got the Corvette ZR1 wearing a racing modification. I believe it's based on the Grand Turismo 2, I believe, or an old. I'm not very sure at the end though. Then you got a Mustang that's in a pretty cool vinyl. See, this is the vinyl I kind of expected. I kind of expected some, you know, tuner base, maybe something like that. Then you got the K&N decals, but no, and that Peugeot one, nah, let's just not decal anything. And then we just got this Yamcha of a Corvette ZR1. You know, I don't think Yamcha's a bad character at all, but you know, he's the trend, so he's kind of that grade. So yeah, that's what that Corvette ZR1 is getting, because she's just a base model in this race. Yeah, just driving the Roadster Shop Rampage to victory at the end of the day. Yeah, I did just record this 25 minutes ago and lost the footage to it, or or didn't save it, and then when I came back to this, I now have to do it again. No, 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 no. Anyways, just recapping what I'll try to say and what I could try to remember and stuff. No. So like these Vipers with the race modifications, somewhat. I say somewhat because Viper's red is crap because it's the base color model for the dealership for the Dodge Viper GTS that I don't care for. I like the savory red that Gran Turismo leans on. I think Team Warco leans on with the more savory red metallic. Like that blue one there has the metallic, because the metallic works a whole lot better for the Viper GTS at the end. No, no, no. Yeah, it's just kind of funny though, the two Mustang GTs. Again, it seems like two of each, but then again, I gotta recall this event was, I think, a base event, to be honest, so. Yeah, so what you've seen is before the C8 Corvette was even ever added in other American cars to say. That's kind of funny seeing these cars trying to pass each other at the end of it. Again, this just reminds me of the Special Route X moment where we're just seeing a bunch of cars align with each other. Friggin' midair. I stared at it so awed that we moved on. And such. But yeah. And just this to victory and see how fast I can go on, because yeah, 152.64, I believe, or 84. It's one of the numbers. I don't know. The problem about doing voice commentary is that they give you an image the size of a little box, so trying to peek at it, and I don't know why they do this. That is not a button. Yeah, oh, I don't know. Full sizes it, so I can just say as I see, but you know. Yeah, and then we got Corvette C7 trying to chase me at the end of the day. He's not trying. Yeah, you won't be getting there. Yeah, I gotta say, for something called the American Clubman Cup 700, my only disappointing part when it comes to those, no race tires for these guys. It really feels like there should be. Oh yeah, and speaking of American cars, we don't have the GAC Maverick either. Well, I don't know, the Roadster Shop Rampage, because I know this was a base car, I believe. I thought this was. Because yeah, they show professional tunes. There's no professional tune cars throughout this event. You can use professional tunes though. It's just kind of weird. Instead, they turn some production cars into makeshift tune-based ones. Which is technically fine, it's just, you know, it's kind of weird why you don't do that instead. It'd be more interesting dealing with the tuner-based American cars than the regular, if you had the opportunity to, you know. It is what it is. I don't make the business dark, you make the business dark, as the saying goes. Got these dashboards while I just drift on the way there, even though it wasn't a great drift, I will say. Yeah, I saw on the last lap of this drift like mad. I'm curious how I could whip this around. Woo! No tire squeal, or no tire smoke though. Okay, I must be not breaking enough. But it does, it swirls around. I will say it's very wild though, be careful to try to do an S drift this. Yes, I passed the 0-1. Into victory! This thing goes. Alright, now on to the next one, which is the World Touring Cars 600 at Circuit de Spa Francorchamps, which I am driving, as I said, American, the Ford Mark IV race car. Cause yeah, you can detune a historic race car down to the levels of 600 and just slap some sports hard tires and call it good. This even includes a Porsche 917K or Ferrari P4 if you got $20 million. Jaguar, trying to think of its name, 2? And I don't know if it's 2J. If it is, well shit, okay. But it's that big, green one. But yeah, and then the Alpine A220 I could think of for an historic race car. And then the Corvette Stingray 1957 race car. Or pro race car, which is the convertible race car, because that was the time they made a convertible race car for some reason. But the Ford Mark IV race car is basically the last evolution of the GT40, as it basically got its own body now compared to the GT40. Because yeah, just to say, the Ford GT40 was a base car, just to say. It was based off the Lola GT. There was definitely a lot tweaked for Ford's, more of a Ford's recognition, where this one is the Ford that becomes a now at the end of it, over time. Made its own body, and even here's the best part, a speed-tail design if you think about it, because this is technically like one of the first speed-tail looking designs of a car, which later McLaren tries to do, and then later I think Mercedes tries to do too. I don't know, a lot of Europeans try to follow step with this style, and it works every time they try to do this. Certain the McLaren speed-tail I can think of, which basically just made a distinction name at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's what you basically call them. You got long tail or speed tail, because it basically you extend the back out a bit more. But if you also think about too, looking at this car, you notice it has a very similarity to a certain 2017 version too of the Ford GT, because I believe the Ford GT is kind of based more of a Ford Mark IV than the Ford GT40, because the 2006 is where it was the GT40 once again, but the Ford GT 2017 had that long look, slanted look like this one did, and such. So yeah, the Ford GT of 2017 is more of a Mark IV look than, while still having the face of the GT40 look. It's like they basically took the GT40 and just stretched it out. That's good. Also, I would say add some elements of the GT80 while at it. The concept car that they had in mind that they were gonna do, but because of the high costing of the engine, which I think was like a V12 or something, they canned that. That was a very weird looking car, and it felt like I don't think it was even gonna be possible to be made. As much as I wanted to, how crazy that car was, and how weird Gran Turismo 2 represented it too. It was in Gran Turismo 2. Okay, we got our competitors here, which looks like basically a lot of normies, basically. No, our Cocoa Bun this time around, for once. If any competitor, it's the GTR Nismo, which I'm not surprised, this thing is way higher than 600. But anyways. We do have a C8 Corvette, so this is one that they just slot in eventually. He wasn't here before. Matter of fact, they had to change the cover too, because it just said that it's supposed to be. Oh no, the NSX is here too. Never mind, take it back. Yeah, no white rabbit to deal with. Honestly, good. I'm surprised though, I'd only see the Lamborghini Hurricane here. That's a weird shocker. Yeah, I will say I do kind of apologize for not doing tryouts for a while now, because I've been kind of technically sick lately. I don't know with what, to be honest. It's kind of weird dehydration feeling, though. I will say it's kind of weird. That you can probably tell in my voice just a little bit here and there. But to say though, I just know I had like a stomach pain. It became a fever. It became a flu. As of now, it just feels like a bloat right now. What it feels like. I just feel very stiff or jammed up at the end of it. It's a weird sign to it, but yeah, that's basically what's going on as of now. It's kind of weird. Or maybe something to worry about ever since I got my gallbladder taken out and stuff. Since then, that was since like Jan to Feb. But yeah. Time to get onto the rest of this race here. Get ever closer to GTR Nismo. Yeah, that GTR Nismo, he is pretty quick though, also. Yeah, I am finally back to the time I accidentally didn't save. Yeah, I was like 25 minutes in and I had to stop real quick. So I wanted to check something. And of course, I accidentally hit Gran Turismo because I thought, for some reason my brain thought I was already done and I was going to Gran Turismo. No, you stupid brain cells. I still got this to do at the end of the day. Stupid brain cells, man. When it tells you, oh hey, you're doing this instead. No, I was not doing that. I was doing voice recording, you stupid thing. That's the saying goes. So as a result, yeah, I lost 25 minutes. It's like, damn it. Oh, there goes a quarter of my hour. Oh no, that's not a quarter, that's a third. That's even worse. No! Damn it. Anyways. Oh yeah, I think it's interesting. I think there's both the R8s too, because you have the 4.7 V8 and you have the V10. If I had to choose a V8, I still choose a V8. I know they tried to get special with that V10, I still prefer the V8 one. Because as much as I agree to have the newer R8, I hope it doesn't replace that R8, other R8, because the R8 is a good R8 too. For its different engine reasons. On to the final lap. But yeah, this thing, after modifying to 600 pp and such, this thing is not only as fast as the GT4, it's also as fuel efficient as the GT4. Not surprised, they should kind of be the same. Even though when you turn around and modify this to max, it does not hit as close as the GT4 road car can. It's a crazy part. This is like, doesn't hit those margins at all. In fact, if anything, I would say this is technically the weakest historic road car you can drive, I believe. It's really not that great. That's how I keep it. Jeffy Black. Jeffy Black key. Feedback boy. Yeah. Let's drive this victory at the end of it. I have him fun with the little drift moments here. We're about to see. Ooh, there we go. It's going out. So notice this one can get a little wild too. You know, you really should drift this because I think because of the detail design, it's a bit more impacted on just points. But yeah, try to get old American on this, or just drove the Mark IV race car on the way there. Oh yeah, there we go. Broke a little bit. Although I was about to lose control there. I was like, oh no. Yeah, I'm still kind of a novice when it comes to drifting and stuff. I still kind of want to learn it, but I also don't like drifting at the end of the day, so it's like, you know, I have two sides of a brain I have to deal with when it comes to that. It's very conflicting. And then, yeah, over time, it seems the Subaru passed GTR as well, which I'm not surprised. That Subaru is pretty good. Sometimes. He is second fast one. We got Mr. Gallo in the NSX, although that is how the NSX should be throughout that Tokyo Expressway one, but it ain't. It's modified it. Here we go with the best drift in the world, and then I spun out. Uh-oh. Donuts, baby! This is for American West! Woo! I gotta show it again. Yeah! One for the USFA! Besides the horrible tariffs and the taxes and the other crap and losing like half of Medicaid and like everything else. Now onto the Neo Classic competition at the Red Bull Ring. Oh boy. This is where I decided to get a little improv and fun about it, because I decided to drive the NSX Type R 1992. Not just any NSX Type R 1992. It is the NSX Type R with the NSX race car motor, I believe, of GT2 style, I believe. So in other words, technically a Civic motor, because it's a 2-liter motor. Yeah, just to say, Civic's been using their motors as race motors when it came to the race car NSX, just to say, and this is probably why Civic in the future is going to be a GT500, is probably that one. The only problem about Civic right now, Civic doesn't go MR style, so we need to change the design a little bit on that. But anyways, I decided to basically turn this into a GT2 race car. Or a grade 2, I should say technically grade 2 race car, like GT500. You know, because the names change so much and stuff. But I decided to play a little bit of Green Turismo nostalgia and decided to go with a 750 pp build for the SX Type R, and you know, just willy-nilly just see if I could beat it at the end of the day. I will say, while the decal is based off that such NSX GT2, it is custom, because to say it does have Team Kunomitsu on the side. It has Mudgeon and stuff. Because I want to make it more Gran Turismo base instead of the team it was based off of. I'm not trying to disrespect Team Kunomitsu, it just, you know, I just decided to go with the Mudgeon instead. Although I don't know what kind of Medico is at the end of the day, but you know, I'm surprised how well this is initially, because I will say I later turned around and tuned this for the better and made it better decals and stuff. So yeah, what you're looking at is a work in progress, because I need to willy-nilly try this just to see if it can, you know, hold up. It did more than hold up. It did the event. Like, as spongy as this car is, because just to say, I think I had to put weight in the front of the car. Because when I did the next little bit here, I'll show, I did add some weight in the front of the car, made it more stable. But for now, it's kind of a drift-happy little 500 horsepower NSX. Because I'm gonna guess with that new engine, it offset it a bit. Because yeah, when you add the new engine, you should look at the car it came from and look at its weight distribution, because that can matter. That possibly could matter. I assume it would matter. Because if the engine was set in that weight balance in mind, the engine will probably only go with that weight balance in mind. May. I will note it does kind of depend on the drivetrain too, and this drivetrain is the same though, so yeah. I do love this though. You had the V6 Escudo Pikes Peak up here, just holding the line between these grade 1 cars. luckily the scooter is way more solid than these fan cars, which is weird to say that because on the initial gears when it comes to the scooters, it doesn't really, you know, get up to speed because the turbos have so much lag and such, but it still kind of does its job after the day. And then you have a rally car, which is the Peugeot 205 Turbo 16E, which is a very crazy car when you upgrade that. I think it's actually like one of the fastest rally cars. When I can go 750. The problem is the tires burn like no tomorrow. And then you have the 155, a grade 4 that is kind of a hybrid between a grade 4 and a grade 3 because it's a DTM car. Or a Dutch Touareg Wagenmeister or something like that. But yeah, it's basically that. And then you get the Quattro rally car, and then you have the Skyline. So yeah, you have a bunch of grade 3s, and you have a couple grade 2s, and then you have a crap load of grade 1s that I'm gonna be honest for it. This event is dedicated to nostalgia, so I could see the CLK and the McLaren F1 BMW GTR being nostalgia. It's just like the rest of these candidates are very debatable, except for like the Sauber. I think it's fine. The XJR is fine. The 962 I don't remember, but the R92 and the 787B since Gran Turismo 3 I do definitely remember. Well, the R92 is second Gran Turismo 4, but yeah. And then you got B6, the Screw Pike Speed. Which I mean, don't really have to say the B6, but it's the basic Screw Pike Speed car. Yeah, it's just kind of weird choices at the end of it. Then again, I got a reminder that these grade 1s are also neutered because they're not at full potential. They're at full potential, they'd be hitting like 810, they'd be passing the scooter like not tomorrow. Like anyone's business, basically. So, yeah, now trying to get up there to those guys because, yeah, surprisingly past the grade 2s like no problems, but there's one issue about this build though. Well, initially I will say after tuning it up a bit, the tire wear is a lot less. You probably notice my backs are kind of burned up a bit more than they should. Although I will say though, that is very impressive, I gotta say, for it to not burn up that fast already. So I'd say props to that at least. But yeah, I decided to like challenge myself. Like I say challenge loosely because I'm still technically using a race car mode at the end of the day, but I wanted to just you know feed in that little nostalgia a little bit, like make this NSX feel like GT2 NSX I come to love, even though that GT2 was a failure in Le Mans. So I think either got hit or like transmission failure, or just like other things. I just recall that hearing that car was a failure and such. But design wise, it is still one of the prettiest looking NSXs. But the old style Team Kinomitsu on it is so good. And that's why I'm paying respect to. But I don't want to take their design, I want to make a remix of the design. Let's see. And you're going to be seeing more flesh of that at the end quick here. But yeah, I definitely won with this, which I'm shocked I even did. Yeah, there goes Scooter though, because the problem is, while he's just as fast, he burns more, because he is a rally car. And his objective in mind is supposed to be a Pike Speed racer, not a dirt racer. As the thing goes. And I technically shown that one of the other Neo Classic competitions I did with the Pike Speed too. But yeah, now I'm trying to show that if you stuck a race car motor like this in this car, you could beat this said competition. Which is kind of shocking, again. Although, not surprised because this car could go like probably 230 really easily. I wouldn't be surprised. I had to do a Mons test on this sucker. Yeah, how crazy it goes. Because, yeah, just to say, I'm going to be testing this car a bit more. But yeah, you impressed me, car. You impressed me. It's usually kind of hard to impress me like that. But this one sure did. Now this shit has the 962C and 787B and R92. Why is the XJR9 being a butt? I'm surprised about that. Usually kinda is. Usually kinda is on that. Although, as you can probably notice too, another thing too, their fuel is also burning a lot quicker too, surprisingly. Which kinda shocks me a bit. It's like, okay, even their fuel's burning. So I actually may have a chance about this. Which is shocking, but then again, I'm only like 500 horsepower of a grade 2 motor. That's not bad because when you add a race car motor to the base car, you also get the fuel savings of that very same car. So as a result, if you go with a low horsepower build of it, it can get a little insane. And if it's especially a road car, it gets very insane. Where it's supposed to be lower than what it tended to should have ever hit. Yeah, it's pretty good in that regard. Matter of fact, if anything, it's definitely like a rank SS in terms of broken. Like that, race car motors in this game are really broken. Depends on what it is. Like especially if it's a pan car motor. Oh yeah, it's broken as hell. Is easily like your way to making your 600 pp builds for easy cash or 700 pp build for easy cash. But I'm not techie all up there for that. I'm there to a degree about that. I do want to see like if there's other examples out there, because this is the reason why I do tryouts. I don't just do tryouts to see, oh, what's the number one build in the whole wide fucking world? Oh, it's this XJR9 motor in this XJ220. It's like, oh my god. Come on, man. There's gotta be like something funner to do than that. It's like, come on. Well, that's Ramadan's, oh baby. I didn't just took this off someone so I could turn around and just record it for my own privileges. Yeah, here's the other thing too. I don't really look up someone's shit either. If anything I look up for any kind of help, like when I need to figure out how to tune this car just right to get the needs out of it. Because, like example, I just figured out Ranchers has been tuning their FS wrong the whole fucking time. Like, the whole fucking time, they've been doing those fucking FF cars wrong. It doesn't still save the FF cars to be in my tryouts, no, sadly, they're still not that fast, but it helps, like, I don't know, the BX19, for example, to be as turny in the Clubman Cup Plus Tsukuba circuit. Yeah, that one. The 5 laps one. Because I was able to do a minute 2.5 with that, because you're able, if you tighten the suspension frequency, you get a lot roomier with the FF car at the end of the day, which is something I didn't ever realize until now. So yeah, when you drive an FF car, set that suspension frequency to medium most of the cases, because you might get a better effect than what initially it was. Also, your tires won't be burning alive while you're trying to turn the throttle at the same time. But yeah, it also helps that too. Not a whole lot, but it does help that. Yeah, past the 787B, now onto the R92. Here, kind of past it, but yeah, I kind of quick glimpse a little bit there. Let's see on my part. Oop, got him. Yeah, I beat you. Which I know was Gallo driving that, but no, it's someone else driving that. Cause if I recall, Gallo drives that one too. I think he drives that in the World Tour 900, I believe. I think it's what? No, I think it's called Grade 1 Racing or something like that. Yeah, he drives that too. Although this one is driven by someone else, and they're Yeah, took it. Take it. No, I said Gallus is driving the Salver, if I recall. Which, that's a choice. Okay. But yeah, I did try a bit of a remix on the detailed design of this before this final lap goes here. To mention that, yeah, I tried to remix detailed design for this car at the end of the day. Give it a black top instead of just red, basically, because yeah, normally this car is all red for Team Kumitsu, and that was the other thing too, because I like that bronze orange alt decoration it does for the race mod. That looks so good, so I tried to look for a color that's very similar. At best, I found a Chevy cover that said Autumn Gold, and this was the closest, so I took it. And it looks pretty good. I'd still say maybe a bit bold, not savory, perhaps. At the end I may have to figure out more of that color a little bit, but yeah. Because from what I looked at the image, it looked like a very yellowish gold color. It wasn't an orange, as a lot of people implied it was supposed to be orange. I don't think it's supposed to be orange. It's supposed to be a bronze yellow gold. So I tried to hit that marker. I think it did. And yeah, I'm just whipping this car around because yeah, the backs are so burnt out a little bit. But woo, doggy. Yeah, I almost wrecked. There we go. That's over for that. I also need to change the fuel or change the oil later for this car. Jesus Christ. But now for the woods. You could probably guess. Crap, 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 crap. Oh! We got engine motor for once. A GAC Maverick. I could technically take that, you know, because I will say the engines I kind of use. Kind of don't, if I recall, if I can remember. It's the worst part. So yeah, 300 grand, which is not much, but the big prize is the 6-star ticket. You could probably guess what I got, a 6-star ticket. I guess tell you for hint, it's not the 2 cars, it's the gold bars. I'm gonna be honest, I probably would take the car because the car was cost $1 million, but whatever, it is what it is. But that basically wraps up for this weekly. So yeah, this weekly's an app for sure. But overall, that's about it to say about this. And yeah, I turned around and decaled this car a bit more. I gave it the red trim, which yeah, I gotta say that, wow, looks so much better. Yeah, I do try to see if I could turn around and make that Gran Turismo 1 race modify and see if I could just juice up just a bit more, because I do like those race modifications. I just feel like there just needs to be a bit more of a oomph to it, you know? And this is one of those cases. Because I like the NSX's, or NSX GT2's race modification style. It's just, my only problem was, it was just kind of basic. So, I just kind of upped it just a bit more. Give it more of a, heck, I want to say the 2000 NSX look. Because then, if you look on the back of the car when I go third person here, you'll notice a certain similar line going on there. So then it's color fade and bubble printed. Yeah. Of course I'm looking around. But yeah, on that back though, you'll see like a red fade and the bubble. I tried to do that, and yeah, that's probably the most detail I ever done for decal, period. You wanna know what's effed up? That actually looks so damn good, like I said. But that's what happens when you put a lot of work to it at the end of it. But until then, people, I'll see y'all next time. I hope you guys enjoyed what you watched here. Until then, and me, my rambles at the end of it. Until then, I'll see you guys all next time, and see you then when I get better. Till then, ciao. Yeah, let's be man in the car. It has a very kiddish horn though.